Beard episode 6, baby. We back. Let's do it. This is Mastodon Toe to Toes. That was Mastodon with Toe to Toes. What's going on, guys? Episode 6. It's been a long time. Since August. Lots been happening. I moved to New York. Got engaged. Got a new car. Watching a lot of movies. If you guys haven't heard of MoviePass, it's an amazing deal. Love it. $10 a month. You can go watch any movie you want, at least one a day. You can watch a movie every day if you want to. Totally recommend it. You make your money back so quick. Been watching a lot of movies. But other than that, just hanging out, living life, loving it, trying to get back into the podcast. Found a lot of new bands, some of which I'll cover here, some I'll get into in the coming weeks. I survived the winter. It's finally spring. Summer broke a little bit. Got some sun out there. Took a nice walk today. It was pretty banging. That's about it. That's an update on my life since August. Pretty exciting stuff. I'm going to talk a little bit about some movies I've seen recently on this episode. Quiet Place, Ready Player One, and Super Troopers 2. Two of which I didn't like that much, and one I liked a whole lot. And I'll let you know which one is the one I liked when we get back from listening to The Condemned by Engel. That was Engel with The Condemned. Welcome back to the Beard, guys. As I said earlier, I'm going to be talking about 3 movies I've seen recently. Just quick reviews. I saw A Quiet Place in theaters, and that was amazing. Directed by John Krasinski, starring himself and his wife Emily Blunt, and a lot of really good child actors too. The movie just handled tension really well and was actually really scary. Kept you on the edge of your seat. Another movie I watched was Ready Player One, which I thought did a pretty good job of living up to kind of this, like, I don't know, I guess like a 80s homage type thing, where it was like trying to show a love for video games and also 80s culture. But it kind of seemed pretty desperate at times. And the movie splits itself between a digital landscape and a real life one. And I thought the real life one was pretty poor. And the acting just wasn't that good. The CG effects in the digital portions of the movie were actually pretty cool. A lot of the sequences, specifically one related to The Shining, was pretty interesting. But overall, it kind of fell flat. And very similar to Spielberg's last movie, The Post, I just really think that he's kind of on a dry spell right now. Hopefully he can bounce back, but we'll see. Other than that, I watched Super Troopers 2 this past weekend. And boy, what a crap show that was. So, if you're not familiar, the guys at Broken Lizard have been making movies for about 17 years since the original Super Troopers. And they made some other movies. Club Dread, Beer Fest was in there. And they weren't that bad. Club Dread was probably their worst. But I would say that Super Troopers 2 is probably worse than Club Dread, to be honest. I laughed twice in this movie, and they were just generous laughs. They weren't belly laughs or anything. They weren't like serious jokes. God, that was awful. It's a prime example of another movie that like puts all their jokes into their trailer, and it's just a complete waste of time. I feel so bad for the people that crowdfunded this movie and got it going to begin with. They were not given a good final product. I would say, this movie is basically made for stoners. The first one was too, and kind of all their movies are kind of geared toward that audience. But God, I would say even if you're stoned, I can't imagine anyone laughing at this movie. There weren't really any laughs in the theater. It was just kind of an epic fail. I had high hopes for this. Like I said, it's been 17 years since the original, and I kind of thought they'd put out something a little bit better than this. But yeah, overall, saw those 3 movies recently. I would say definitely check out A Quiet Place before it leaves theaters pretty soon. The other 2 you can skip. Just wait till they come to streaming or DVD or something if you really want to see them. But that's about it for movies I saw. If you want to know more about movies I'm seeing, I recently stopped blogging on Tumblr. Well, not stopped, but stopped doing it as often. And I think that Letterboxd is kind of where I'm going to end up going for most of my movie reviews. It's kind of like a Goodreads for movies of sorts. So I like the community a lot, and if you want to go over there and check me out, letterboxd.com. That's letterboxd.com. They skipped the E. Don't ask me why. There's also an app, so check out the app. It's pretty cool. It's nice to be separated from IMDb and Rotten Tomatoes, because those can get kind of bland at times and kind of overrun with, critics' reviews or critics' backlash and a number of different stuff. That whole scam with, like, everyone saying Rotten Tomatoes review system is busted. So, I don't know. I just like the community that runs Letterboxd a bit more. And it allows you a lot of customizable options for your profile, too. Like, you can make lists of your favorite videos or favorite movies. That's kind of nice, like top tens. But that's about it. So, getting back into the music, this is Orbit Culture with Saw. That was Orbit Culture with Saw. Just to finish up here, guys, last couple things. I want to talk about some movie news I heard about over the past couple months. So It Chapter 2 is set to begin filming in Toronto in a couple months. They're saying they're going to start in July. And they're trying to cast the adults. If you're not familiar with the story, so a killer clown visits a town called Derry, Maine. I believe it's in the 50s or 60s when it first happens, and all the main characters are children. And so the first movie, which was pretty great, that came out last summer, had all the kids in it, and it's supposed to be, the sequel is supposed to follow up, where the clown comes back, and they're all adults now, and they have to deal with it again. So Jessica Chastain was confirmed a couple months ago as starring in the film, as being picked up. And now they have Bill Hader and James McAvoy both in discussions for possibly joining on as well. And I think, as far as I can tell right now from the articles, that's probably the extent of like the household names that you'll see within the group. They'll fill out the others with I would say probably relatively unknown actors, but it's to be seen at this point. But I think with starting filming pretty soon, they have to get some final answers on these contracts and get this movie going. But I'm really excited for all those actors to be picked up and joining that project. That's going to be great. They both Hader and McAvoy, and Chastain, have all done really, really good serious roles. Most recently, Chastain with Molly's Game was really incredible. Good performance. McAvoy killed it in Split last year. Another amazing movie. And Bill Hader was initially kind of surprising, but recently he's been doing a show on HBO called Barry, where he plays a contract killer and assassin who wants to be an actor. So it's kind of this like dark comedy line that kind of is similar to Dexter a bit. And I think Bill Hader's done an amazing job in that show so far. It's only a few episodes in, but I like that series a lot. So I'm excited with what he can bring to It Chapter 2. And then Tarantino's Manson project finally got a name, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. That name's kind of bland, but maybe it'll work. I don't know. It's his 9th film, and supposedly he said in interviews he's only going to make 10 films in his career before he retires or quits or whatever. But I don't know if I believe that yet or not. But this is going to be his 9th one. It's supposed to set around 1969 and like the Manson case with Sharon Tate. And the only people cast so far are Margot Robbie, Leonardo DiCaprio, and Brad Pitt, which is an interesting combination. I don't think I've seen Pitt and DiCaprio in the same movie before, so that'll be interesting. Obviously, Robbie and DiCaprio were great in Wolf of Wall Street, the Scorsese movie a couple years back, and DiCaprio has also worked with Tarantino before in God, what's the name of that movie? Jamie Foxx. What the hell was that movie? Django Unchained. Sorry, guys. Django Unchained. So, yeah, that was a fantastic performance as well. So, I'm looking forward to seeing what else Tarantino can do with DiCaprio as an actor, and also with Pitt teaming up there as well. That should be a good one. But that, just like at Chapter 2, the Tarantino project isn't supposed to come out until 2019, so we won't see it for a while. And last but not least, the Rob Zombie trilogy, the 3rd installment in the House of a Thousand Corpses, Devil's Rejects, and now this movie called 3 from Hell, is supposed to be finishing up production here pretty soon. And that puts the same trio, Sherry Moon Zombie, Bill Moseley, and Sid Haig, back in the plot. So I'm hoping that turns out well too. It's been about 15 years since Devil's Rejects came out, well, '05, so I guess 13 years. But I'm looking forward to seeing the results of that story. In the last one, The Devil's Rejects, the final scene of the movie, all three of them go out in a blaze of gunfire. So I don't really know how they're going to make up for that. I mean, they're technically dead at the end of the last one. So I don't know if this is going to be a prequel or some kind of spin-off. I don't even know. But we'll see. So that about wraps it up. Those are the three things in movie news I wanted to cover. Yeah, so thanks for listening, guys. I really appreciate it. You're going to hear a lot of, probably dead air throughout this episode and some others. And probably some breathing, some, mouse clicks here and there, probably. I'm not going to spend the time to cut those things. I have a pop filter, but it can only do so much. I'm still an amateur at this, and my podcast isn't perfect, and I don't claim to be either. So it's just going to be this way. I mean, if you like it, cool. If not, if it bothers you, I'm sorry. I'm really here for the music and to share with you guys my thoughts on movies and movie culture. But I really hope you come back. I don't know if I'm going to keep doing these. I tried to do it originally to try to do them once a week. It kind of got kind of hard to do after a while. Kind of ran out of ideas. So I don't know if I'm going to be doing them once a week, but I'd like to at least do them once a month, if not twice a month. Getting back at it here, so we'll see how it turns out. Again, I really appreciate you guys listening, and I hope you come back. This is On Thorns I Lay with Erevos. Have a great week, guys. Thanks for listening. See you next time.